Hello. Okay, I say hello there, lamp, PCU, bellhound, dog. Hello. Hello, cat. You like the ice noises? What is this? How's the... Actually, let me go back to normal voice.
How's the stream, by the way? Because the YouTube is showing me an error, something about like more than one ingestion using the primary URL, and I'm like, what does that mean? So like, is it laggy or something? Lego crook. Oh yeah, I guess it was supposed to be Lego. That makes sense. Not that I can notice. Okay. Good. That's good to know. I don't know, YouTube sometimes shows weird errors, but like everything else seems good on my end too. So I don't know, I'll just assume it's YouTube being weird because it's not the first time it happens. I remember there was also one time a while ago that YouTube was like, oh no, this is not working. And I was like, what do you mean? Everything looks fine. How was your week? My week was okay. It's been tiring. It's been work has been tiring. A lot of work arrived this week. What? What do you want? What? That's Reggie. But yeah, I wanted to show a picture yesterday, but it didn't happen. She hungers? No, she already ate. I didn't happen to have any good picture at the time, so I had to wait until I came back from work today to get a better picture. But yeah, just posted on the announcements on Discord. Just remember, like, just right now. We got another kitty. His name is Isu. Well, his public name, as you know, same as Reggie. They all have their own VTuber names. But yeah, his name is Izu. He's 2 years old. He's a black kitty. He's chungus. He's a big chungus. We think he might be like either slightly overweight, or maybe he just didn't move much, because he's this cat, you know, that he's really chunky, but like you look at his legs and his legs are really skinny. So I'm like, my boy, we need to send you to the gym. But yeah, if Reggie meows a lot, it might be because my sister is in the room with him. We keep them separate still, you know. We have they're having a few issues getting along, mostly from Reggie. So we kind of let them interact for a bit and then we separate them again. We love them the entire day also. We keep them separated. You know, one is in the bedroom and one is in the living room, and we kind of switch them around. And I say when we got from work, we kind of let them interact a bit. and then separated them again. So yeah, I think she's meowing because she wants to get into the room, but like no, she's not allowed until later. But yeah, he's pretty shy also, he's pretty chill. Yeah, she's jealous and she's wary. She's just very, she's kind of a coward, so you know, she's just very scared. He just kind of sits there and doesn't move at all, you know. He's the kind of cat that he'll just like lie down somewhere and you can like go and pet it and sit next to it and he just won't be bothered. In fact, when we were checking him out in the shelter, he was sleeping, and like we tried to offer him treats, and he just kind of sniffed them, and went back to sleep. And then we started petting him, but like he did not move at all. He was just like sleeping, like lying down. So yeah, that's also why we picked him. We had like 4 options. That's why we picked him, because we were like, okay, he kind of looks like nothing bothers him, which might be good since Reggie's probably gonna, you know, we don't really know how she's gonna react. Like I knew she was very curious about other cats from like the times I walk her outside and there were like some cats out. She's like really curious about other cats, but like never in an aggressive way. She is a bit more aggressive with him, I assume, because he's inside. You know, he's kind of invading. He's like one of my cats, very chill. Like, yeah, he's very chill. Because we were between him and another one that was more, he seemed more playful and curious. But in the end we were like, maybe the chill one might be better. But yeah, she did hiss at him. She has hissed at him a few times. But yeah, we think we made the right choice with him, because you know she'll kind of approach and hiss, and he just kind of looks and like goes away. Or like, but yeah, we think we like at least yesterday that was it, you know, like she kind of hiss and kind of chase him around, but like she kind of shadows him, but like still keeping her distance. And it's so funny because, you know, if he's looking at her, she'll like approach and hiss. But then if he turns around, you know, she'll kind of approach curiously, like cautiously from behind, and like start sniffing his tail. So I'm like, what do you want? Like, are you curious? Are you wary? Are you scared? Make up your mind, girl. How old is Ray again? She's like a year and a half by now, more or less. And he's 2 years. That's also why we picked him, because they were close. They were closer in age. The other guy that we were looking at, he was already like 5 years old. But yeah, we might have we're just kind of doing that, we separate them, and then we like let them interact a bit, and then at one point we're like, okay, too much, separate them again. Because he doesn't really react at first, but we noticed today, because today we realized, we're like, okay, maybe we let them interact way too long, because it seemed like he was starting to get annoyed also, because he was starting to growl at her, which he didn't do yesterday. So I'm like, okay, maybe it was too long, so like you keep them separate again. And we're switching them around. So like during the day, since we work, we left him in our bedroom. We close the door and we let Breggy have the rest of the house, like the living room and the kitchen. And at night she sleeps with us, because that's what she's used to, so like we can't really leave her outside at night. She'll start crying at the door. So at night we switch them around. She stays with us, and he gets to stay out and explore the rest of the house. And each of them has their own litter box, their own food, their own plate, etc., their own toys. I actually got a new cat tree in the bedroom, so there will be something, at least one thing that wouldn't just completely smell like Reggie. But yeah, it's gonna take a while, I think it's very rare that cats just kind of get along right away. Right, baby? Yeah, I'm talking about you. Time flies, it really does. But yeah, as far as I know, I think it's really rare that cats just kind of get along right away. I mean, it can happen, but I don't think, as far as I know, it's not really a common occurrence. So it'll take time. Just a quick Google search says that it can take like from 4 to 6 weeks, just for the cats to kind of tolerate each other, and then even longer for them to like quote unquote become friends. Until yeah, Reggie used to have a brother. Not like anything happened to him. He was simply, at that point we weren't really ready to take on 2 cats, so he went to someone else. So we assume, like, oh, maybe it's time to get him like, a new brother. But like clearly she's already used to like being alone and having all the house to herself, so now she's kind of having issues. But I think she is the one having more issues than him. Like, as I said, after a while, we notice now that after a while he kind of gets annoyed, because she'll kind of approach and go around and circle him and stare from a distance, and then she'll get close, and she sometimes she hisses, sometimes she just kind of stares. But it takes him a while to actually get annoyed by it and start like growling and hissing on his own. So we have some confidence that once Reggie starts getting more used to him, things might be a little bit easier. She's really curious though, like if he sits somewhere and then he moves, she'll go there and start like sniffing the place where he was like sitting. Cats do that. just to kind of get to know each other. That's also why it's, as far as I saw in a show, that it's good to kind of move them around, switch them around, like different rooms. So, they'll be alone, but they'll have a chance to be with like the scent of the other cat. And that's how kind of they start like sort of getting used to each other. But yeah, we'll just so yeah, it's gonna take time. Who's gonna beat the crap out of the other? I hope no one, no. Because he's bigger, so we're trying to avoid that. She is very tiny. Reggie is very tiny, so to give you an idea, she's like 4 kilos, which translates to 8 pounds. And he is like 14 pounds. So howdy, Suni. And hello, Bellhound. So yeah, we're trying to avoid that. What the hell is a pound? He's 6.6 kilos. And Reggie is like barely 4. I think she's like 3 something. He doesn't look that energetic though. I said, yeah, he's chunky. And I don't know how long he's been in the shelter, but he doesn't seem to move a lot because, as I said, he's like big, but only his body. Then you look at his legs. His legs are really skinny. His tail is also really skinny. It looks kind of funny. So I'm like, okay, we'll have to feed you better and get you to do some exercise because clearly you need it. Clearly you need it. Not only to lose the extra weight, but to like develop his legs. He looks like as if he has never walked in his life. Like I'm telling you, like skinny legs. Panza de cerveza. Sí. He's really friendly with us, so like he lets us pet him. We can pick him up, no issues. We I don't know if it's visible in the picture. I don't think it is. Maybe, because of the angle. But we put like a little bandana on him. Just like the one Ray has, like a little collar with a bandana. And like he had no issues with it, like he barely moved. And so he does seem like very chill, even when Reggie, with Reggie bothering him, it takes him like a good 5 to 10 minutes of Reggie bothering him to actually start, like hissing back or like growling at her. For the first while of interaction, he just kind of sits there and just let her do her thing. She doesn't really attack or anything, That's also that's another thing I take as a good sign, you know, because cats are fast and they're ruthless. So I'm like, if they had wanted to attack each other, they would have done so already before me or my sister could have stopped them. Because I mean, all you can do when like a cat starts fighting is like separate them. There's no way you're gonna be able to react in time to stop them before they actually, you know, get their claws on each other. They will swipe at each other a bit, but that's as if you were out their share area. Yeah, also that Ray has swiped at him like a few times, but never any contact, you know, like she does it from a distance. Just kind of swipes and hisses. It's funny though, because then, you know, then he'll look at her like angry and she gets scared. So I'm like, I'm like, what are you trying to do here? Like, are you trying to assert dominance, or like, are you gonna give up? Like, make up your mind. Something really weird happened also now, because I mean, I was Isu was lying on my bed, you know, like by the feet of my bed. So, and I was just kind of lying on my bed while we waited for food to arrive for a bit. And then Ray came like from my side, you know, like from like, so like the other end of the bed where the pillow is. And just kind of also started approaching, you know, like very, you know, when cats kind of crawl, like doing like that. But I put my hand on her head and I just kind of started petting her, try to relax her. And they just kind of stare at each other for a while. And at one point, they both got scared or something. Like, Isu suddenly jumped down the bed, like very suddenly, and like away from Reggie. And Reggie also jumped back. Instead of like going after him, she jumped back, like also scared. So I'm like, I was like, what? What just happened? They just kind of stare at each other so long that they both got scared. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You're covering the camera. You're covering the camera, baby. One day you're gonna come home and they will be snuggling to each other for warmth. Yeah, I've heard that happen a lot. But you know, it's probably gonna be a while because I think that probably the first few weeks we'll just have to have them separate while we're not here. So clearly they first need to reach the point, and I think this is what happens with most cats, that they first need to reach the point in which they tolerate each other. And then maybe they become friends. Like after that. It's very gradual. Hey Kels, hello. Yes. Like I said, I used a quick Google search just to just to give myself an idea, because I'm the kind of person that needs to have like an idea, even though like I know it varies from cat to cat, but like I need to have like, okay, what's like the general idea of how long it takes for cats to stop like eyeing each other suspiciously. And it said like from for like around 4 to 6 weeks. And then under it said like how long to develop a friendship. And it was like 8 to 12 weeks. And like, oh, okay. Once they know they both have to live together, most cats are good roommates for each other. Yeah, that I was saying. I think it's just as it's rare that cats will get along like right off the bat, I think it's also very rare for cats to like never get along in the end. I had a kind of long time. She died of cancer and had been reluctant to get another one. Oh yeah, that happens. You know, like it's not something you can rush. Because, you know, like it's not fair to anyone if you just go and get another one with the idea of, I don't know, being like, you know, like, oh, I need some companionship. But it's like, if you haven't still like grieved enough or like and moved on, you're inevitably gonna compare like the new pet to the old pet, and they will not be the same. But yeah, we were looking at all the black cats in the shelter, because I mean, my sister really wanted a black cat because they're cute, they're pretty, they're really pretty, and also it makes us sad that it's still black cats tend to still be the like kind of rejected ones most of the time. So we're like, okay, we're gonna get a black kitty. And there were 3 at the shelter. I said the other one was a bit older, and he did look more playful, more curious. And he let us also get close and pet him, and like he seemed really friendly. So at the end we were like between him and Isu, which, as I said, is more chill, more quiet. Doesn't seem to really move at all. They get boned as being unlucky, and then as an accessory for Halloween costumes. Yeah, exactly. So we're like, okay, now we're gonna get one. Whereas the other one was older, and we were like, okay, maybe it's better to get like the one that doesn't seem to be bothered by anything, because I mean, Reggie might annoy him. And the other one seemed more active and slightly bigger. So we're like, And the other one we really liked, he was really pretty, you know, but he was a unit. And, you know, I'm not talking about just chunky, you know, because he wasn't chunky. He was like, you know, well fed, but not to the point of being chunky. And he was like really, how could you say, like anatomically cat, you know, he had like strong legs and everything, but he was big, like he was huge. Like he was big. He might have been a mix with like a Maine Coon or something, because he was big, like a big lad. Yeah, I'm like, there's no way that guy is medium. in the shelter website, I think he shows up as medium size, and I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Yeah, it's just medium. And like, ain't no way that's a medium cat. He is huge. And he was like all muscle. He was beautiful, but we were like, if we bring him home, you know, and he gets angry at some point, he will just eat Reggie alive. Because Reggie, as we said, is tiny. An absolute univalata, yeah. Body, but also just large frame, yeah. But you know, as I said, he wasn't fatty, it's just, he was big. He was just big. And he doesn't seem as big in the pictures. But he was big. Like, it doesn't say his weight on the website. But I'm like, that guy must have been like 8 kilos of pure muscle. Or something like that. Because he was huge. Like, even the shelter girl was shocked. She was like, he doesn't look as big in the picture. And there was one that we really loved. He's missing an eye. But I don't know, I saw the picture and there was something about him that I was like, oh my god, I love him. And then I also showed him to my sister, and my sister also was like, oh my god, he looks like so beautiful. And he also looked like very calm, and he's like a very pretty shade of gray. But he had, you know, I think he had FIV. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. Did they have multiple pictures of this unit? Yeah, there's 3 pictures. And he doesn't look as big in any of them. He looks just like, you know, he looks like a regular sized cat. And then you see him in person, and he's like an absolute unit. But yeah, I did this other one, the one-eyed guy. We absolutely fell in love with him. But yeah, he has FIB. So we were like, okay, that will be irresponsible for us towards Reggie to bring a cat infected, you know, considering they can transmit it so easily. So at the end we had to leave him. But like, if we didn't have a cat already, we would have absolutely picked him. For those that don't know, FIB is basically HIV but for cats. It's feline immunodeficiency. And you know, and being 2 cats that will be introduced to each other later on in their lives, like a scratch or a bite or anything that like takes out blood at any point will immediately infect the other cat. Hope he finds a good home. Me too. But yeah, I might take the pictures of the website later and share the pictures of the other big guy, so you can see. You know, he used his pure muscle. He's just like a absolute unit. But yeah, I'm confident he'll find a home. The other guy, because he was just so loving, and I was happy to see that the cats seem to get adopted very fast here. All right, Chaos, thank you for dropping by. But yeah, I was very happy to see that the cats get adopted like really fast here. Like when I checked, by the end of November, I think, or like end of November, beginning of December, something like that, there were like 170 cats, 170 cats waiting to be adopted. And as of now, I just checked the website, there's 58. So I was like, damn. I was not expecting that. And when we went to the shelter, there was actually like a lot of people waiting to like adopt animals. And it made me so happy. I was like, yes! Everyone's getting houses. Everyone's getting homes. It was so funny because there was actually another black cat that we had seen like on the website. So you know, we mentioned to the lady, you know, like, oh, you know, we saw like all the, we're interested in like on all these ones, and we gave her the names, and she was telling us about like, you know, this one cat. His name was Charlie. About how she hoped like that he could get a home, you know, because he was apparently he had like a kind of a difficult background, so he was like very shy around people and other animals. Yeah, like he hides a lot, you know. It takes a lot of him for him to open up. And like apparently he had been in the shelter since like November, which according to her, it's very, very long for a cat to be there. And as she was telling us this, you know, as she was looking for for his file, she suddenly goes like, wait, I think he got adopted. And we were like, what? And then she's like, oh yeah, because I mean, you know, there was this girl that kept coming over to see him specifically, but you know, like could never kind of make up her mind on like taking him home. And then she checks and he's like, oh yeah, he got adopted like 20 minutes ago. And we were like, oh my god, yay! So yeah, that's my shelter story. But yeah, so we'll keep trying with Isu and Reggie. As I said, they have not gone on each other's throats yet. So I have faith that it might take a while, but that they'll get to the okay, we live together now. And we need to exist together in the house. But for now, it's enough yapping. I really want to get going. Gonna make progress in the game. So we're gonna move over to the game. We're going back to Brazil. There we go. We're going back to Brazil. No. Probably around there. If it's too loud, still, you guys let me know and I'll lower it. But yeah, I heard this story is pretty good. It was already pretty good from when we played last time. I'm really curious to see how it evolves. And apparently there's been a lot of drama among Brazilians with this chapter. We're not gonna go into that. We're simply gonna read. And speaking of the title of my stream, there's Bertin and Nala there. So I guess we're going back to them. So last time, they were in Brazil with Senna, looking for indices of the this new cult that is basically just Manus Vindictae 2.0. The Senna captain says like, okay, you can go explore, you take Lopera to like take you around, but Lilia stays with me, so she can help train some new recruits. So there Bertin is like, okay, and then they take a boat that was gonna take them to Sao Paulo, but then some pirates attack the boat. And then they make it go boom, and they all fall into the water. And Sotheby and Lopera end up like here. Duncan picks them up. Then the Santos guy, that is clearly not a cult leader, shows up, and Duncan is like, oh yeah, no, I want to join the cult. And we don't know what he wants. We don't know what he's cooking. And that's what that ends. And now we go back to Bertin and Nala that went in a completely different direction apparently. So let's see how that goes. On the margins of life and death, in the midst of such prolonged suffering, happiness feels as far away as the sun in the sky. And Escobar was there. Oh yeah, Pablo Escobar was there. For some reason. You can't be in any part of South America without having some random Mexican guy in there. It's the law. Also, I'm drinking some white wine because I had a week. Life and Death in Sao Paulo. The Friend from Afar. Do I need to click?
In the narrow streets, violence is so often more than just a means to ending conflicts. It is a tool, and one all too readily used. I must note, however, with some relief that segregation so commonly observed in other regions is absent here. The arcanists of Sao Paulo live alongside humans, with the latter often displaying traits more common to their arcanist neighbors. Passionate, if a bit touchy. Life here is incomparable to the comfort, security, and freedom of New England.
When have you been in New England? Squints.
Hardship, violence, and oppression are the fundamentals of life. As constant as the sun, and as heavy as the rain.
Oh yeah, Latam.
This country is renowned for its coffee and sugar. It is a land of beauty and bounty. Treasures too often extorted.
Classic.
Whether by the princes of Europe and their donatarios, or now by the bankers and corporations.
Classic.
Despite all the centuries of treasures extracted from the land, desperation remains everywhere you look. It is a place where insurmountable wealth and the deepest deprivations are neighbors. Sometimes they lie only a street across from one another.
Also classical Adam.
The multinationals have cut open the country's throat, and now they drink it dry, leaving the people struggling with poverty and chaos. It is a bleak existence. Dear readers, I share this with you so the story of these people might be heard.
Yeah, sounds accurate. So like general Latam country number whatever. Favela doesn't even have a name. The doctor sits by the riverside. A small group of children gather around her. They watch in awe as her typewriter hammers the letters onto the page. I always forget that this game will not shy away from shit. Yeah. That is... I try not to get into drama on stream, but that's... just my sister, my friends have been sending... Like, you know, if I'm sharing a lot of tweets. It seems that that's what the people is angry about. You know, there's other things that are valid concerns, just like the fact that even though they're in Brazil, almost nobody speaks Portuguese. And even the battle BGM, you know, as much as I like it, I'm like, why is it in Spanish? Shouldn't it be in Portuguese? But the other thing I've seen complaints about is people being like, oh, you know, why are they showing like Brazil like this? You know, like, oh, like there's only crime and like all the bad of it. And I'm just like, yeah, that's how this game be. It just shows it does not shy away from showing like the darker side, you could say, of like wherever they are. It's not just a thing that they're doing because it's South America, like so much other media tends to do. It's just wherever they go. Wherever they set a chapter or whatever in reverse, you know, they don't really shy away from showing shit or like how shit was in that era, you know, like how we were when we were in Vienna with like Akane and Isolde, you know, like how all the aristocrats were like super fake to each other, and like all the things that Isolde had to go through because she was like a lady from our own family, and like she had these issues, and the electrotherapy. This game will go to Canada and do a chapter on residential schools. That's how this game rolls. Exactly. So they were like... and like, you know, and there's an event. There was an event not long ago in San Francisco, but you know, it shows like... It never shows like the nice part of San Francisco. It all takes place in like the slums, you know, when there's like a bunch of homeless and like orphan kids stealing to go by, and it just kind of shows like how Jay and his group, despite their circumstances, you know, still kind of try to live an honest life and help others, so you know they don't have to be stealing and doing crimes. But yeah, so yes, I know because apparently, I don't know when was it. There was a dictatorship in Brazil, as there was in so many Latin countries, to be honest. So yeah, okay. The Brazilian dictatorship lasted for 21 years until March 1985, and we are now in the 1990, you know, so this is like 5 years after the dictatorship. And they're like, complain about the first scene of the chapter, when they show like l'opera. You remember the game started with a literal like military execution, and they're like, oh, that's so insensitive because Brazil is, they were just coming out. I mean, at this era, they was just coming out of a dictatorship, and they executed a lot of like students and whatnot, and it makes it makes me it's really uncomfortable how they show these blah, blah. And I'm like, internally, like I never really get into drama on Twitter, but like internally I was like, yeah, that's the point. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's not a scene that gets placed for laughs or like used to be like, oh yeah, it is meant to be like, oh shit, okay, I guess that is the tone of this. Like, oh, all right. You're not supposed to be like, yay, execution. So I'm like, yeah, it is doing its purpose of making you uncomfortable. This time I told you about los vuelos de la muerte in Argentina. I can imagine it was similar to the thing they did in Chile when they would throw people off helicopters into lakes with cement tied to their shoes. It sounds like a similar vibe just by the name. A dictatorship in South America? Impossible. Game manages to give people a reason to use manus, but still make what they do horrifying. Yeah. Here it was from military planes on Torrio de la Plata. Let's go! Yeah. So you guys had the vuelos de la muerte, when Chile had the caravana de la muerte. So we're very very original in Latam. The helicopter thing. I know they did in Philippines. It really is to wet Latam. Oh yeah. The good old practice. And how they will be like, oh no, we found this person, oh no, they committed suicide. But then like they show the picture and they're like ham tied, I think it's called, when they have their feet tied together and their hands tied behind their back.
Do you know, has life always been like this here?
Hands tied behind their back and like backs over their head, and they're like, oh yeah, no, they committed suicide. As you do, they shot themselves in the head from the back with their hands tied. Everyone is able to do that. But yeah, I just kind of find it like, yeah, that's, I mean, I'm like, yeah, that is the game, It's just not shy away from showing shit. It doesn't matter the country, because I saw people being like, oh yeah, they always show like the white countries so well, and I'm like, no, they don't really. they really don't. I don't think I've seen any really positive or like full-on positive depictions of any country or city in this game. It's not a game meant you to go like, oh, I will go here and visit. It's not a tourist ad. It's not a vacationing ad. You gotta make sure you're locked in and can't run away first, just in case. Exactly. It's amazing how they committed suicide after tying their hands and tossing themselves off a cliff in a suitcase. Yeah, it's crazy how people do that. This game has great people and terrible places. Yeah. The only, I think the place that has been shown like the most positively, quote unquote, there's an event that takes place in Rayashki, like someplace in Russia, I assume, or like around there. And it's just like a small town form of people that just kind of had gone there because there's mines, so they're like a really small and tight community. But even there, you get shown how they struggle because, there's no more resources for them to sell because the mine, the mineral they were taking, it's done. So they were all really worried about like they're not gonna have the support of Zero anymore. So like, how we're gonna maintain ourselves now. But like they were really like supportive, the people was great, everyone was really supportive of each other, everyone was really a really tight community. But like, even there when they're like, oh, this place, seems like a nice place to live because of the people. And even then they're just like, they show you how they're struggling with their issues. So like, I don't know when people are on when they're like, oh yeah, they show like all the other places so great and only South America, they show it as bad. And it's like, no, as far as I know, they show every place as bad. Even the St. Paulo Foundation, we all remember kids getting tear gassed. Do you guys not remember kids getting tear gassed? that happened in chapter 3. The only nice place was the number island to good fact. Yeah, you could also say that was nice because they had like some very weird rules, but they seem happy, they seem like unbothered by things. Kids cry all the time. Can you really blame the gas? So like, like, as soon as I said, like, this game has great people, great characters, and just terrible places. Not because the place itself is terrible, but just because they don't shy away of showing like the bad side of things, like everything. And even here, this dialogue now they say like, oh, this place is beautiful and bounty and the people are so passionate. But they get like their riches taken away by their corporations and Europe, the Europeans, the British. But yeah, that is a thing. That's it. And there's, as I said, there's some valid complaints that I think even when this patch released in China, there were complaints about not being or barely being any Portuguese or not at all, which is weird. Like, we're Sao Paulo in Brazil. Why is nobody speaking Portuguese? Why is there so much Spanish? Did you say British? Yeah, dog, the British. But anyway, let us continue. Remember this lady from the island? She also shows up in an event. I am so curious what's her deal. Sheepy.
If you ask me, Doc, San Paulo in 1990 isn't much different from Nassau 1681.
I love white rum. I mean the character. Look at her. I love her more because I saw on the reverse 1999 stream. Just look at the design. You know how the little sheep moves inside and like the bottle, the skeletal hand. It's just so cool. But also, it's so colorful at the same time. I find that amazing. But also, this is supposed to be I don't remember the name of the ship. Is the character the ship or the bottle or the hand? It's the ship. Is the ship of The one and only Queen of the Pirates. Do you guys know Anne Bonny? It's her, right? Unless a One Piece character. I just know her because she's in Fate, to be honest. Or am I getting? It might be another one, but it's a ship from a pirate. A pirate girl. Okay, you know, it is Anne Bonny. I'm pretty sure it's Anne Bonny. So she's kind of how old as like one of the Queen of the Pirates kind of thing. Is there? Anne Bonny is among the most famous pirates in recorded history. Apparently her life as a pirate was really short, but even you know, she left such a mark, also because she was a woman. And apparently there's a lot of stories, a lot of speculation of her being in a relationship with another female pirate, because of course. But yeah, this is supposed to be the ship of Anne Bonny, and this is supposed to be her arm. You know, I think the story goes what they say on the stream, something about after she died. You know, the ship. You know how in here, like, the objects sometimes, like, have an awakening? So, you know, that happened to the ship. But the ship still wanted to explore with, like, Anne Bonny, so it kind of takes the arm with her, with the ship. So, they said on the stream that this is her arm. But the character itself is the ship. Apparently the ship can get big, we'll see. My sister told me that it can actually, you know, kind of get out of the bottle and get into the sea and be an actual boat, and then it just gets tiny. Anyway, let's continue. I'm getting so distracted,
It's
and
a
I wanna...
shame. Between the sunshine and warm sands, there is a good life to be lived here. If only they were free enough to live it.
It's like all of Latam, honestly. I'm getting so distracted. I want to make progress and then get super distracted by everything. Let's keep going. The summer is long, just like the suffering of these people.
I used to dream of traveling to all sorts of fascinating places.
That's so rad, you took me on so many journeys, now I bring you. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, we still need to keep exploring together, you know, even though you're not here anymore. So kind of bring a part of you with me. It's so cool. That's why I'm like, okay, I had loved the characters and like I saw it just design wise, it looked very cool, but now I love it even more.
A foggy city by the Thames, and a little town blanketed in snow and sunflowers. I met so many different people, though I find I can no longer recall their voices. I have only their words left, only my records of them.
What's with you? You're suspicious.
Have you heard of a weed down at the bottom of Lake Ilapango? The people there turn it into a polenta with cornmeal. Supposedly, if you have it, you'd recall every last thing that's ever happened to you. Every bit of it.
Wow! What's the weed called?
The children turn to the ship and the bottle, their eyes filled with curiosity.
They call it La Hierba del Tonto, Spanish for the fool's weed.
She made an attempt. La hierba del tonto.
You see, lad, only a fool would want to remember everything. Sometimes a little forgetfulness is a blessing in disguise.
I beg to differ, Shippy. To forget the past, its lessons in pain and joy alike, that isn't a blessing. It's oblivion. But let's not argue over some mythical weed. For all the claims, no one has ever seen it. Just another myth, like the succubus or the minotaur.
Aye, let's talk about succubi instead. That's sure to get the lads pricking up their ears.
Hey. At the mention of this, the little ship goes off again.
Back in 88, I mean 1688 of course, our chief mate Mr. Morgan had an encounter with a succubus after he found her seal while carousing in Portobello.
Shippy knows what she's about. She's so real. Oh, look, it's raining inside the bottle.
If the rumors tell true, once he got a hold of it, she grabbed a hold on him too. I couldn't say what transpired, but we never saw hide nor hair of him again.
Whoops. No one can debunk her stories, but no one really believes them either. The children's curiosity fades, and their eyes start to wander. One of them spots two big fish floating in the water.
Look over there! Something's in the water!
Two figures float among the trash in the river, spluttering and choking. One is clinging to the other as they struggle to swim to shore.
What the devil is all that commotion?
Anxiety, I believe. Truly. Good morning, Bertie.
Hey, wake up! Hey, stay with me! Can you hear me? Hello?
Kimberly pats her fallen companion's face. No response.
She's still breathing. Why won't she wake up?
Whew. What happened to the lass?
The little ship makes its way over, followed closely by the children and the doctor. Seeing the group of strangers approaching, Kimberly tenses up.
Miss, are you all right? Is there anything we can do?
Yes, I'm fine. The ship went down.
Blow me down. These waters are getting rougher by the day.
The little ship sways back and forth in its bottle, showing off its excellent condition.
And we drifted down the river until we reached the shore here.
A long way to go, only to end up in the favela. Wow,
I
okay.
know she's traveling with her friends, but I don't know where they could be now. Everything happened so fast.
Also, another thing that just kind of seemed funny to me. As far as I know, there are no favelas in, like, the river. They're generally, like, up the hills and mountains, you know.
Shippy, what's going on? Are there people that need care? What's their condition?
Just one, alas. She's still breathing, but she looks like she's been keelholed for a bit too long.
Miss, please lay her down on her side.
Kimberly does as she is told.
What are you going to do to her?
The doctor kneels down, skillfully clearing the girl's mouth of any residue before starting chest compressions. Every poor town is a favela. Yeah, clearly. I'm like, that's what I was saying last time. It's like, clearly they did their research on like how the places look and whatnot, but not much on the geography end.
Save her, if I can.
One push, another. It's a professional instinct, the duty of a doctor. An unexplainable impulse drives her to revive the drowning girl. The girl coughs up some water. The doctor continues.
Good, good. She'll make it. Please, make sure her airway's clear.
She coughs out more water, but she still lies there, unable to move.
Are you sure about that, Doc? The lass looks paler than a ghost. I think she's burning up.
No, she's just British. The doctor touches her forehead. It's burning hot.
You're right. We'll need to take her back with us. I'll fix some medicine for her. Would you give me a hand, miss? Help her up on my back.
Kimberly obediently helps the blind doctor lift the feverish girl onto her back.
Oh. She's almost as light as a child.
Because she's like 15 or 16, I don't remember. Either 15 or 16. The children run ahead, pulling aside the hanging clothes for them to pass.
I need to run some tests and see if it's just an ordinary fever, or if she has contracted something from the water. Don't worry. You're safe with us.
The doctor speaks to herself, or perhaps in reassurance to the unconscious girl.
Where are we going? Wait up!
Home.
And where is home? Kimberly catches up to the doctor, only now realizing how far they walked. She steps into the doctor's home. To be continued. Ooh. Memories from her past rush through her mind, but she hasn't been able to process them yet. Tap to collect the fragment. She used to comfort those childlike elders with a siren song that made them forget their pain and aged bodies. But that's from... yeah. Dr. Doris' Path, a doctor's medical kit containing her compassion and regrets from her past journeys. It doesn't come with any text. Oh wait, here. The root of the people's illness lies not in their bodies, but in a future they perceive as a dead end. No medicine can cure that future. And there is another one here, yeah. Sometimes I sing, but the elders always weep, then whisper softly that it's not my fault. Oh shit, mood. I forgot to pull for Nala. Interview guidelines. A conversation filled with one-sided questions doesn't necessarily have to feel like an interrogation. check records. Encrypted record number 5225. Miss Barbara, thank you for agreeing to this conversation. Please relax. This is the Foundation's way of reciprocating Otto's interview. We can proceed at your leisure. Yes, it's rare to be the one asking the questions and hosting the editor of Utu. Let's make the most of this opportunity. Regarding your method of avoiding the storm. I am sorry, but as you probably know, you cannot hear the wind, so you can't hear the secrets of the storm. There's nothing I can do about that. Utu shows no interest in cooperating on the storm issue. I'll note it down like this for the record. That doesn't sound like an amicable record, but maybe that's how it's perceived by you. Let's move to the next question. From what we understand, Utu has a unique communication method. Can it help you locate each other? Does it work for ordinary contributors? Only Utu members can hear the wind, but I can ask about the source location of the contributor's package for you. Miss Barbara? Sorry, the wind just told me something unrelated. I need to head to Texas now. But our conversation isn't over. I apologize, but I must go to Highway 77 immediately. Please allow me to end the call. The other party then hung up. Matilda has been appointed as a special investigator to continue our interview on Highway 77. The task has been transferred to the timekeeper. The timekeeper has returned with information indicating that Ord might be at Sao Paulo's veterans residence in Brazil. So it was the event that we did, remember? I did on stream, right? Yeah, I did that on stream. But yeah, just remember I wanted to pool. I don't have that many pools, but we're gonna try anyway. Nope. We got a 2 5-stars though. Is it more Mr. Duncan's? Let's go.
Hola, kid. It's me, Duncan.
Oh, it's money. Love when the wind tells people to end my phone calls. Troy. Wow, okay, that's how it is. That's how you are, game. Why are you treating me so badly, game? Okay, that was all the pulls I had. Hopefully I won't need to open a wallet. How long
Please
is
rest
there?
early.
33 days, okay. There's time for me to farm more pools. Anyway, back to story. That skin looks good.
Good evening.
Oh, hair?
Please rest early.
That's not a skin, that's her, like, you know when you kind of upgrade them? That's the art. I know there was a way to change the illustration. I don't remember. But yeah, that's like the illustration when you like level her up. Like, you know, Duncan has this. Okay, back to Brazil. Age like fine wine. Live long enough and you will see everything. True, I guess. She do be a cutie, she is. There's a cat there. There's another cat there. A shelter in the favela. A fan whirs loudly, yet the room is just as hot as the outside. The doctor gently lays the unconscious girl down, resting her head on her lap. She lightly strokes her flushed face.
So you weren't even traveling together. And still you brought her all the way here. You have a good heart, Miss Kimberly.
You flatter me, Doctor. It was only that the current pushed her to my side when we all fell into the water.
Oh yeah, she totally didn't reach out for her. We totally did not see that happen.
And I just couldn't forgive myself if I were to let her drown.
An accident, or perhaps fate.
In fact, she and I had met briefly before, in Texas. We didn't part on the best terms.
Yeah, because you kind of introduce yourself as a psycho killer. Kim assuming. Kind of, I think. I think, from what I've seen, I think she really starts showing like wet cat energy here, which is really funny considering her introduction.
Sometimes we find ourselves in quarrels, even among friends.
No, we aren't.
Not friends.
Shh. We should let her get some rest.
Kimberly falls silent. She squats down, watching her the way a cat peers at a sleeping baby.
May I touch her?
She pokes her
Fever
nose.
is one of the biggest dangers here, though it's still better than diarrhea and vomiting.
She's poking her nose.
I'll take her to the veterans' residence for further treatment once her condition stabilizes.
It almost looks like she's only sleeping.
Sorry, would say they were good friends. That's actually another drama that was going on. But no, we're not gonna get into that. What's with her face? Yo, she could be dying, come on.
Are you two really not friends? Seems to me that you care for her very much.
And sorry, it's just so funny to me that she's just there like poking her nose. She booped us newt.
She helped me. She was kind to me on the ship. That bloody ship. I don't know what happened.
Shh. Hush, please.
The doctor presses a finger against her lips, a gentle smile on her face.
My apologies.
She has the face of a guilty child.
As I said, it was only twice that we'd met. And somehow, both times turned out quite terrible for me.
I don't know, the first time you had it coming. Yes. The doctor strokes the feverish patient's hair. It's beautiful, almost the same color as hers. Ha ha ha. History Channel looking cool, hey Joe.
Her hair is so silky. It's smooth and soft, like fine rain in my hands.
The doctor gently combs the hair with her fingers, slowly untangling the matted strands.
First it was Tuesday's motel. Things that turned into a right mess, and I didn't find what I'd lost.
Oh yeah, no, it is in the other event that she gets introduced as a psycho killer. I don't think Bertin has seen her in that mode yet. She was just kinda cray-cray at the motel.
Then, in that manner, just as I was about to enjoy a bit of dinner, that wild girl burst in. They caught me, threw me into a tower and locked me up. I was stuck there, waiting like a lamb to be slaughtered.
But you've made it through. You're safe with us. No one is going to hurt you here.
I love how they put the actual fan sound in the background.
Thank you, Doctor.
Kimberly gently takes the feverish girl's hands into her own. It's limp and slightly rough to the touch. The blurred memory of her sister comes to mind, as well as the wrinkled, worn faces of her old friends cheering her on.
Goodbye.
Wait, are you leaving? Where are you going? Satisfied that she has paid her back for her kindness on the ship, Kimberly leaves through the back door. The little ship in a bottle's waiting for her on the other side.
Leaving your friends so soon, lass? Well, come as you are. I'll give you a lift. Perhaps we might have a bit of an old jaw along the way.
Hey, yo.
After all, It's rare indeed to see one of your kind out and about these days.
Ayo, she noticed?
A lift? Pardon me, madam, but I'm not sure you could bring me anywhere. You're a little too small and a little too stuck in that bottle.
A galleon, born from the 16th century's dreams of exploration. She awakened and slumbered once again until now, a time in which there are no more uncharted lands to uncover.
Climb aboard, matey. So where's our heading? Or shall we go for a ride on the river? Don't be shy, I aim to make a friend of you.
Kimberly looks hesitant.
Don't be shy. I let the little ones play on my deck all the time, climbing here and there, like a bunch of cheerful little monkeys. And not just them. I ferry the good doctor from here to the veterans' residence too. You'll have to wait till we reach the sea to see me at my full size. Once the water opens up, that's when I'm really free.
The sailboat slowly drifts away from the doctor's hut.
Now, I ask again. Where are we going, mate? Can't just let the wind decide our course.
Why not? I should like to go somewhere nobody will ever find me.
Confusion, chaos, escape. Perhaps tomorrow will be just like all those yesterdays.
I'm afraid there's precious few places like that anymore, lass. I've spied the globes they've got nowadays. Seems like every last step has covered the four corners and back. But aren't you a strange sight, lass? You know, I've seen your kind before. Beautiful to look at, aye. But there's a darkness in you that lies beneath the surface, isn't there?
She's just straight up asking. It's amazing.
But you're not like the rest of them, you'd say. Well, I would sooner believe in a map to El Dorado before I'd swallow the idea of a succubus with a heart of gold.
Oh yeah, she's a succubus.
So, was that girl your master? Did she have your seal?
Oh, she knows a lot.
If that were true, then heart of gold or coal wouldn't matter for none. You'd be as thick as old tar.
She's been found out. She's a member of an ancient race once wanted, even hunted, and now forgotten by the world. A few seagulls land on the boat's edge, joining them on their journey.
What? Are you wondering what gave you away? Your gloves don't do much to hide those claws. I could feel them pressing on my railings as soon as you hopped on.
Kimberly immediately hides her hands behind her back. Her reaction betrays her.
No use hiding them now, matey.
Her hearty laugh sends ripples through the water.
You!
Kimberly scratches the mast with her claws, but this small protest does nothing to dissuade the ship.
Are you going to turn me in?
She looks around. This place looks safe enough. Just one small leap and she'd be back on solid ground.
Turn you in? And how do you suppose I do that? I'm only a ruddy ship. Bring me back up on land and I'll be stuck right back in the bottle.
Betrayed by your own grippers.
No, lass. I've sailed with rougher folks than you. My old captain had a bounty on her head, too.
She's a fugitive, hiding like a frightened bird. Thunder rumbles in the distance, scattering the birds perched on the roofs on either side of the river. It makes her quiver, but for the boat, it brings back fond memories of sailing the roaring westerlies with her captain. Rain starts to pour. The wind picks up, filling the ship's sails and racing her down the river.
Well, just so you know, I very much doubt they'll pay you anything for handing me over.
Maybe so, maybe so. Now, you've got the law in your tailwind. What happened? Did you spring loose from the old gibbet? Mark me now, young lass. If you're going to try to pull one over on me, you'll have to do a lot better job than that.
That same old trick.
Are you mocking me? This is not how one ought to treat a new friend.
Asking a pirate ship if they're gonna turn into the cops is such a funny idea, yeah.
Quite right, lass. So then, who are your pursuers? And your master? Shouldn't you be under his protection? My old crew would say any captain that can't keep a ship safe is only good for bait.
I have no idea where he is, or where my seal is for that matter. He was a no-good fool, though. Or only good for bait, perhaps. I hope he's dead, rotting in some sewer back in San Francisco.
The rain stops. Brief and intense, just like her escape.
Well, mortal flesh doesn't last long. I've ferried many a passenger in my days, and none yet have escaped when Davy Jones came calling their name. As I recall, the first that went was William Halfleg. He lost the other half in a fight at the port of Southampton, hanged on the governor's orders.
Damn.
And Edward the Red Hand, a nasty piece of work from the Low Countries, loved a bit of throat cutting, until he got his own throat slit by some fool in a ramshackle pub on Tortuga.
Oh, I love her. She fondly remembers every one of her crew. Though they all died hundreds of years ago, it still feels like yesterday to her.
Sounds as though they got what they deserved.
That they did, lass. They all got what they deserved. Some hanged, some drowned. Some we marooned on a desert isle with naught but a pistol and a flagon of rum. I've been to Plymouth, Nassau, Port Royal. I once even slipped into Seville disguised as a merchantman to smuggle pepper and cinnamon. Wherever the captain wanted to go, we sailed.
An exciting, dangerous life, yet ordinary in its own way. The countless cannonball scars in her hull alone tell the story.
But one by one, Davy took them all. Now here I am. A ship without a captain. My own master. I suppose that's a lot to take in. You ever thought about living a different life? To set sail for some far corner of the sea? Living on spiced rum and jerky thick as a buccaneer's hide? How's that sound, lass? Not that I'm saying we set sail today. It's only a bit of old fancy.
I really can't say, Chippy. I suppose I can't. Not yet, at least. There is something important I need to retrieve.
I should play some Age of Sail games.
That's Captain White Rum to you. The ship of a captain and captain of the ship.
I prefer... Wait. Sorry. Did you...
Are you seasick? Now we're back to the favela. As the ship docks, she leaps back ashore, doubles over in an alleyway, and retches. Oh, they didn't even manage to get out enough.
Seasick? I hadn't thought your kind capable of it.
I didn't expect this, either.
She didn't get seasick on the other ship. A can rolls over, gently hitting her foot. Annoyed, she kicks it away. Not far away, a few boys have been practicing their soccer skills with it. One mischievous boy kicks the can back toward Kimberly.
What now?
This time, she picks up the can and angrily throws it at the boy's head.
Caramba! I like this girl, she's feisty.
Caramba. I like this girl, she's feisty. Ah, yes. He straightens himself up as he slowly makes his way toward her, a cocky grin on his face. Oh no, do not do that, boy.
With the Brotherhood, Gorota! You apologize, now we might just let you go. Don't you know that Lord Santos is back? We can make this rougher for you if you like.
Careful, me lads. I wouldn't pull those knives. Things may go rougher than you'd bargained for.
She's just like, well, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Muchacho sabe lo que le gusta. Oh yeah, I got the skin for shaman. As you can see.
Hey you, jerk, why don't you show us what you're really made of? My mom can throw plates better than you can throw that garbage. What's the best you've got? These slippery little buggers are going to be hard to catch. I know. I'll catch them one way or another. Oh no, it's an auto.
Everyone.
Because I was farming.
Hey, don't listen.
Okay, I took it off.
Sending down signals from above.
Muchacho se ganó el filero. This kid's gonna get cut. Just another day of beating up kids. Okay. Ah. But how do I know what's a position of slot doing?
Woohoo! Take off! Listen up! Relax. Please, don't resist. Shot time! I smell the scent of movement.
Suplex the child. Is it the... Ah, okay. Oh, it's the first one. Alright.
Woohoo! Take off! Breathe.
I thought there was like some other indication of it.
Relax. Listen up! Please.
I should have healed.
Stars light the way. Time for mission. Screw it!
Off he goes.
Sound for a new era.
Oh, I think he's not dodging anymore though, so I can do whatever.
Now dance.
Hello! SCP dead man.
Alright. Breath in. Give me a hand, friends. I can't do this alone.
That hit through the dodge wrap. Ultimate hits through the dodge. He got his ult. Charged.
I remember it's called lending.
The boys are no match for her.
Not so tough now, are you boys? Try this again, and I'll make a mince out of what's left of you.
And how she swipes. She angrily kicks the can into the river.
I know your fathers, me boys, and I think they wouldn't be none too happy to hear you claiming to be with the Brotherhood.
Oh no. She got the real scary stuff. bringing up the parents.
Let go. We're wasting our time here.
The boys scurry off, muttering under their breaths.
Bilge rats, the lot of them. Not even fit for the apostles. Brotherhood always lets their knives do the talking. If there'd been any doubt of what you are, lass, that fight sure cleared it up.
La chancla. This is my sister. My sister showed me this when she was playing. It's so funny. Look at the interior of the house. Look at the little figurines, you know, the doctor, Nala, White Rum, and Bertin lying down. Look what's right next to Bertin under the floating star. Oral bandages, fighting back death's descent upon her patients, and extinguishing the world's light from the eyes of the doctor. Once you get used to the darkness, you'll find it kind, compared to the fate that took my sight. It's so funny. They have her lying on the floor and there's a bed right next to her. Innovative advertising. A magazine clipping is posted next to a pile of glass souvenirs. A very effective promotion. The Untold Stories of the Invisible College, Boyle's Impossible Flask. Perhaps you are familiar with the Royal Society. Maybe you're even able to name every president. But do you know its predecessor, the mysterious Scholars' Assembly, known as the Invisible College? Today we will introduce the central figure of the Invisible College, Robert Boyle, the famous alchemist, natural philosopher, and founder of modern chemistry, along with his mystical stories. When discussing Boyle, one must mention Boyle's law, which states that at constant temperature, the pressure of a gas is inversely proportional to its volume. Boyle demonstrated this with a U-shaped tube filled with mercury. But before that, Boyle tried various devices and countless designs in his quest for a frictionless flask with a piston. He even employed arcane skills, casting an incantation of proportional scaling into a flask. As a result, the flask could indeed compress and expand objects perfectly. However, arcane skills being what they are, the object's mass will shrink with its volume, and the process will cause noticeable temperature changes. A very successful arcane skill, but a failed experimental apparatus. These flasks were eventually donated to the Royal Society, but it says some ended up in private hands. So, keep an eye on the ordinary flask around you. One of them might just be a highly convenient impossible flask. Oh, is that the bottle White Rum is in? A bed. Yeah, there's a bed right next to her. But they have her on the floor. Let's go 10. Boarding the White Ship. Pursued yet eluded, seen yet unseen. Favela.
Listen up. We're the Apostles' Brotherhood, not some worthless favela gang.
There he is. Escobar, the one and only.
So we start off nice and easy. And if the doc doesn't play along, well, then we make her play along. Claro?
Claro. A shelter in the favela. The feverish girl looks to be doing much better than before. Dr. Doris is crouched beside the bed, gently wiping her face. A few uninvited guests burst in.
Hola. How can I help you, gentlemen?
Hola!
Hey, is she really blind?
You speak as if you didn't just make noise walking in.
I'm afraid yes. But please don't worry. I'm more than able to treat all my patients. Are you feeling unwell, sir?
Marcando glances at the patient on the stretcher and signals to his men. Not that she's using that for fun. Yeah, she's just tuning. His dogs quickly surround the patient.
Sir?
We heard that you're a good doctor. We got someone who needs your help. You're Dr. Doris from the Veterans Residence, right?
Yes. And may I know who you are? I won't turn away a patient, but I'll also need some assurance that you can be trusted, sir.
She's not blind, she's just into it.
So, is she coming with us or not?
He kicks over a cabinet, causing the test tubes within to smash in a small explosion on the floor.
Did you hear that?
Sounds like some kind of explosion near the clinic. Should we go back?
It could be an accident, but she's got away with her equipment. Doubtful she's the cause of this. Steady on then. Let's hurry back and see for ourselves. That's not how you treat a doctor, lads.
The thugs instinctively draw their knives, a habit developed in their line of work.
What are you doing to her?
Lord Santos would like to have a word with the doctor. That's all.
You're not taking her anywhere. Don't you see she's taking care of this girl?
She bares her claws, digging her heels into the ground.
Yeah, I'm not asking for permission, sweetheart.
Oh, you're gonna regret that. Marcando snaps his fingers.
Grab the doctor. Ice the rest of them.
Ice the rest of them. Okay, it's the same thing. Does it above hit them though? Yeah, it does.
Hold on to that.
It's the attack that doesn't hit them.
Please, get reception.
You're careless.
I've been there, ya lo hiciste. Oh, it was just the first turn? Good. Nice. We love that. We love to see it.
Come on.
Listen up. Come back to me.
Hold on to that.
Stars light away.
Alright, deep breath in. Everyone. Give me a hand, friends. I can't do this alone.
Yum. Only one left. Not for long.
Woohoo! Take off.
Your command.
Sending down signals from above.
This is not bad for a stretch.
Oh yeah, look at him. Kimberly claps the head of a thug in her claws, poised to crush it, but she hesitates, glancing back at the doctor. Oh, it's fine, she can't see it. don't worry about it.
Stop. Enough. I won't have you fighting in my clinic.
Kimberly releases her grip.
Doctor?
But they've got the girl, Doctor.
The feverish girl's unconscious body has been thrown over the shoulder of one of the thugs.
This lady definitely isn't from the favela. So what's she doing here?
She's ill. She needs my help. That is all I ever ask.
Well, all we need is you, Doc. So how's about we make a deal? You come with us, we let the rest of your friends go. Understood?
You should just let Kimberly kill them all. Just saying.
So be it.
Or do that, I guess. She doesn't hesitate to accept.
Please, Doctor, stand aside. I'll happily take care of these rats.
I have no doubt about that, miss. However, once violence starts and blood is spilled, there will be no end to it. For now, I would be happy to meet with the Senor Santos and seek out a peaceful resolution. I'll come with you.
A peaceful resolution, yes, I'm sure that's what's gonna happen.
See? We can all be friends.
The thug pushes the feverish girl towards Kimberly.
Curtin!
Kimberly catches her, holding her tightly in her arms.
If she doesn't wake up tonight, take her to the veterans' residence first thing in the morning.
All right, get the doctor straight to his reverence.
Well, there she goes. Water? Long asleep with no dreams. No worries, no troubles, no thoughts. Like being back in a warm, dark, damp room. Wakey, wakey. She awakes to an unfamiliar place. It's quiet and strange.
Have a good rest, did you, Sleeping Beauty?
Curtin!
You've missed quite a bit. All terrible, I'm afraid.
All terrible, I'm afraid. I love her. A talking ship inside a bottle. A tiny floating fortress on the water. And beside her, a worried Miss Kimberly.
Where am I? You and this lass were drifting down the river after your ship went down. You'd have met Dr. Dorres had you woken up a little sooner.
Doctor? Dr. Dorres. Yes. She's a doctor from the veterans' residence. She saved you from the very claws of death. She
can't walk. Her body's still too heavy.
Aye, you were burning up, lass. But the good doctor pulled you through. She was right there by your bedside the whole time. The good news is, we think she's still alive.
Still alive? What's the bad news then?
The bad news is she's been snatched up by the Apostles' Brotherhood.
What?
Bertie's just waking up. She's like, what?
Rest now, lass. They aren't likely to hurt her for now. You'll need your strength for later. Some scallywag by the name of Santos wanted to have a word with her, so they said.
Scallywag. Everything has gone to hell since that ship sank.
But Lepera and Sotheby, where are they?
There's a shooting pain in her arm.
I remember we all fell into the water. I'm sorry, I didn't see them. We washed ashore together. My map. Have you seen it? I have to get to the veterans' residence. They may very well be waiting for me there.
Come on your feet.
Well, I may be just the ship to get you there, ladies.
Let's go! Sao Paulo Bossa Nova? I love Bossa Nova. He dispenses justice, Sao Paulo style. What does that mean?
The commander wakes up with a hangover, gets assaulted, base almost destroyed, and those frames wiped. Could be worse, could be worse, could always be worse. Oh hey, what's going on back there? Okay, now we're back with Sotheby, Opera, and Duncan apparently. So what are they up to? What are they cooking? After instructing his men to take Dr. Doris to their chapel hideout, Marcando walks over to Duncan, who is watching over a group of hostages.
You're a clever one, viejo. I like working with your type.
Viejo. The hostages, Galeno among them, are lined up on their knees, their hands tied behind their backs. Marcando has ordered they be taken to the manor.
Much appreciated. I've tried to pick up a thing or two over the years.
You've had plenty of time to learn, a man of your age. By the way, what about that girl? Where'd she go?
Sotheby is missing.
Dunno. Maybe got scared away. You know how little rich girls are. I'm certain she's found her way back to her daddy's bodyguards. She'll be no cause for concern.
Fine, fine. No need to worry about this spoiled little girl. Now this bastard, on the other hand.
Marcando kicks Galeno hard in the stomach.
Leave the boy be. He's not got much time left if he doesn't give up those names.
His eyes dart around, keenly scanning his surroundings. Marcando had left with about a dozen men, but he's only come back with 9.
Hot enough out here? Luckily, I've got a bit of vino left. You a fan of wine, Senor Marcando?
But why would you take wine if it's hot? Wine will only make you warmer.
I'll fetch some for us, and all the brothers and sisters here. Let's drink to the Brotherhood and the opportunities that lie ahead.
Unless it's not like red wine, I guess.
You old fox, I see your game. But why not? We could all use a drink.
Don't question the Brazilian.
You, over there! Keep a watch on this guy. Don't let him get away.
When I went to Brazil, I got into a ship and I drank like a liter of grape caipirinha. It was good times. He gives Galeno a kick in the backside as he leaves. Old Duncan waits by the water, his eyes anxiously fixed upstream. Eventually, a small boat carrying Lopera and a few men rows into view.
Finally.
The boat docks, and they jump ashore one by one, carrying a spiked wine in their hands.
Duncan, you nearly had me there. When did you plan all this?
I've had it brewing for a while, but things have been changing fast lately. Honestly, I didn't expect to be doing this now.
He counts the men, just 6 of them. Fewer than expected, but enough.
There's enough snoring syrup in the wine now to put them all in a dreamy, deep, deep sleep. Oh, but might it have had a stronger effect if I had included a dash of slumber belladonna in the recipe?
This will be more than enough, little lady. We only need to get them to drink the wine. Then?
Oh, then you must drink this. Just a drop.
She rummages around in her skirt for the potion. Eventually, she produces a bottle of thick, pine green liquid.
It will stay on your tongue and prickle around in your mouth. That way you won't drift off like the others. I've concocted much tastier potions before, but this one...
Memories of her past experiments come flooding back, almost bringing her to tears.
It'll do just fine. Thank you, little lady.
Hey, baguettes! You did miss the yapping. Hello, Mohammed. He smiles as he takes the bottle and downs its contents.
He raises his flute, signaling the next step of the plan.
Pass me the wine and wait for my signal. When you hear me playing this flute, you'll know it's time to strike. The wine's here! Courtesy of an old friend from Mexico. Take a glass, everyone.
Yo, they said Mexico, not Mexico. Nice. We take those.
Here's to his reverence's good health.
I still don't understand why they're drinking wine, though. I guess wine is just kind of the default drink I've seen noticed in these games.
To his reverence's health. To Marcando. To the invincible brotherhood.
A Mexican never refused to drink.
To Marcando!
Yo, I'm also drinking wine actually. Let's go! The flattery and alcohol have successfully lowered Marcando's guard.
Duncan, is that your flute? Give it over.
Oh no, Marcando snatches Duncan's flute and looks it over.
This is a fine flute. Duncan, did you said that you got a friend in Mexico? Huh? You know that old Mexican song, La Llorona?
Is there a song? Can't blow the flute just yet. A few men are still awake.
That I do! I learned it from the best! In the cactus back in Tulum. From a fine young lady with silky hair and gentle eyes as dark as coffee.
Yeah? I'll have to look it up. I just know like the legend, you know. The ghost. An improvised lie, but there's truth in it. The cactus bar in Tulum is real, at least.
Claro. So, how fine was this chica? Huh?
Immediately distracted. Like, oh, you mentioned a woman? How was she? Oh, I think I might have heard it once. It seems beautiful ladies are much more interesting than music to him.
Don't let me start spinning that yarn. It'll be no fun for you to watch an old man bursting into tears.
Lies and fake tears. Duncan's acting wouldn't fool the sober, but with his audience under the influence of alcohol and potions, he just might get away with it.
I'll only say I was heartbroken by the time I left. That love of mine. Anyway, enough about the old flames of yesterday. Let's raise a glass to a better tomorrow.
Yeah, drink.
Poor old Duncan.
To poor old Duncan.
I love that he has like the sombrero and just like the cross thingy with like a bunch of bullets.
Duncan adeptly retrieves his flute before powering out more drinks. He feigns joy, drinking and laughing with his new friends, until they're too drunk to stand. Every one of them is utterly inebriated. Marcando and his hounds pass out, one by one, until they're all fast asleep.
It's time.
He blows the flute as his companions jump into action.
Good music. Who are you?
Oh, we're gonna kick your ass.
party in the sky and on the air.
Bandolera, carrillera también. ¿El sombrero o la cosa con balas? Oh, it's 4.
We only
Okay.
made this year.
Can we smell them? Yeah.
You don't want to miss it.
Una cosa con balas. Ah.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Listen up.
Hold on to that.
What's up, baby? What's up, Ricky? You're not letting me see. I need to see the cards, Ricky. Please.
Decision.
Another jar? Enjoy! Got you! It's newly made this year.
I didn't realize I don't need this thing anymore. A name of fireworks, association of small fireworks chained together. Oh, nice.
Give me a hand, friends. I can't do this alone.
I'll fill the cup for you.
Come back to me.
What did you shoot?
There you go.
Come on.
Brave decision.
Listen up.
Thanks. That was it.
Everyone. Hold on to that.
Alright, he's dead.
I remember it's
Lopera! Galeno! Come on, give me a hand!
Oh, pinche traidor.
¡Pinche traidor!
Time to cash you out.
He pins the struggling Marcando to the ground.
You'll be begging for Lord Santos' mercy.
Be reasonable, kid! The Brotherhood is finished! Your time's up!
He pulls the knife from Galeno's waist and finishes Marcando off the Sao Paulo way. Wait, what does that mean? With the Sao Paulo way.
Don't let them slip away!
Mr. Carson, but you...
She swallows her words. No, her butler will never do something like this. This is the raw, fierce power of a man who has lived on the streets of the favela. Now, it's probably also because he's been to war, but like, you know.
Meanwhile, Lopera catches up to a fleeing thug and cracks him over the head with the butt of her gun.
Let me.
He picks up a metal bat and stands over the fallen thug in front of Lopera.
Think you can handle this?
Yeah, I've got it.
He swallows hard and aims at the spot where the gun butt had struck.
For the favela, the Brotherhood must go!
Yay, dead people. The battle is over.
Sorry to put you through all that, kid.
Don't mention it. If this means we can get rid of them for good, it'll all be worth it. So what's next?
Next, Zeno will come around to pick you up. But first, we've got to get back to the veterans' residence.
Eunice spreads among the group. They exchange a few glances.
No, senor. One of you has to stay. The people need to see you, or they'll worry that you've deserted us.
I can make it there on my own. Stay with them, Duncan.
And me!
An unexpected volunteer steps forward.
I've seen there are many sick children here in the favela. I'm certain that I could do something to help them.
I'm not sure it's a good idea, Sotheby. The favelas can be dangerous if you don't know them.
The brave young lady can stay with me if she likes. I'll keep her safe.
Galena and the others nod.
What do you say to that, little lady?
Miss Sotheby is never afraid.
She's so cute.
It's decided then. Lopera, head for the veterans' residence. Tell them what happened and contact Admiral Igor from there.
All hesitation leaves Lopera's body once she hears her father's name.
Galeno, you've done us proud, kid. If I were king, I'd have made you a knight. Who knows? Maybe the little lady could do that for us. But first, young Galeno, we'll seek another deed worthy of knighthood. It's time we fight for our people.
Don't do that. No.
Temo por la gringa.
Peor, es británica. Oh, memory. An ordinary-looking wrench, bursting with stories and the marks of time, just like the old craftsman it belongs to. If you hear me clapping, it's because of Reggie. Okay, I can probably do one more and then I'll have to go sleep. Don't be fooled by its plain appearance. This here is the foundation of all my work, just as much as my callous old hands. Lawata. Silent night, holy night. We hear the song every night we bid the day farewell, wishing you peace, my dear. The route from the favela to the veterans' residence is quite familiar to White Rum. She has ferried the doctor back and forth countless times.
You ever been to a veteran's residence? Not many young faces there, besides Lopera. As far as the doc goes, doubtful anyone knows her real age. And even the saltiest sailor knows better than to ask a lady her age.
Sao Paulo Veterans Residence.
Ooh, I see that joke missed the bow, so to speak.
No. It wasn't a bad joke at all. Really.
Really? A joke will usually warrant some kind of response.
Aye. Thanks for the kind words, lass. But best to leave old Flotsam where it lies. 'Flotsam 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 where it lies.
Mama? Oriana from the veterans' residence brings out some snacks. There's plenty of sugar to go round in this neck of the woods.
Have you been feeling this sweet young lady's head with your tall tailed shippy?
The little ship used to live with the doctor in the veterans' residence, but today she returns alone, and neither one of her 2 passengers is her old roommate. I love how everyone calls her Shippy.
Sorry to show up without proper notice.
Oh, don't worry about it. Any friend of Lopera is a friend of ours. Oh, if you'd come a couple of days earlier, we would have introduced you to Senor Duncan and Dr. Doris. But they've not been around in a while.
That's a shame. I was looking forward to meeting them. Hopefully we'll see them soon.
Kimberly wanders the courtyard. She's still on guard, but she seems to be oddly familiar with this place.
You know, I knew a girl who looked just like her. A caregiver here way back in the 60s. Back when this place was called Heartfelt Home.
She scratches the chin of the kitten in her arms.
But it can't be her now, can it? Besides, I'm old now, and my memory is a bit fuzzier than it used to be.
May I see Dr. Doris' room?
She wouldn't mind, but please be careful not to move anything. It's that one over there, dear. She never locks the door.
Unsafe. The place looks no different from the other rooms in the courtyard, but the door is slightly ajar. Green vines hang from the roof, and the weathered walls bear the passage of time. It's a simple little home. Kimberly stands by the door, a stray cat in her arms. She scratches its belly. Cat-to-cat communication.
How dare you scratch me!
You're scratching its belly. Do not scratch a cat's belly. They're not dogs. The cat leaps out of Kimberly's arms, grabs hold of one of the vines, and clambers over the wall of the veteran's residence.
Get back here, you fluffy rapscallion! I'll have your tail, you hear me?
She's fighting with a cat. She's not as agile as she looks, or perhaps the kitten has made her soft. She fails to catch it, instead of stumbling into the door, throwing it wide open and hitting the floor with a thud. Oh no, she's a fail girl.
Do be careful, Miss Kimberly.
Thank you, Bertin.
How did that happen? And how long have you been standing there? Just a little while. Funny. I've never thought to open a door like that before.
Come on, Bertin.
Come along. Let's take a peek inside.
Guest room, veterans' residence. It's rather ordinary guest room. It's a rather ordinary guest room. What's with that chair with a button? Except there's a peculiar white marble chair sitting by the window. It has a red button on the armrest. The marble feels familiar, but no memories come to mind. Odd how they both have some kind of familiarity with this place.
What's this red button on the chair?
Push it, press it! The button seems totally out of place, as if daring someone to press it. Kimberly takes a seat and curiously presses the button. Of course she does! And of course she presses it multiple times when it doesn't work. Despite her fervent pressing, nothing happens. Frustrated, she swings her legs over the other side of the chair.
Good for nothing.
A tasteless decoration. No one knows why this chair is in the doctor's room. But pressing the button didn't trigger an explosion or anything of the like. It's simply a functionless, harmless little contraption. On the other side of the room, the doctor's desk holds a stack of manuscripts.
These must be articles that she hasn't sent out yet.
Notes on the districts of Sao Paulo, records of arcanis in the favelas, investigations into plantation economies in northeastern Brazil,
She's a good woman. And her room smells like a good woman's room. You don't find many of those around these days.
What makes you say so?
Well, firstly, she did save your life. And secondly, it's hard to explain. Good people have a smell. A pleasant one. My nose has never been wrong. Burton.
We'll bring her home safely.
This typewriter seems like it's seen a lot of use.
Do you see any drafts? Any samples?
I can't say. I'm not very familiar with these things. Take a look. She signed something here. But I thought her name was Doris.
You thought? There's a single word written at the bottom of the manuscript. Urd. Haha, the person we were looking for.
Mariana!
A familiar voice echoes from outside. Lopera? No! What do you mean to be continued? Llegaron los municipales. No. Okay, what's this? Wall of Gratitude. There's a secret group in the world that does good deeds in silence. Let's list all its members on this wall. Appreciate kindness. To Mr. Marble. Dear anonymous gentleman. The Veterans Residence deeply appreciates your generosity. Your donations have been a great help during these difficult times. We've taken to calling you Mr. Marble after your donation of that fine marble chair. I assume marble holds some special significance for you. If you happen to see this letter, we hope that you will one day soon come through the door and accept our thanks and hospitality. I'm sure you'll be pleased and comforted by the heartwarming sights inside the home you've so long supported. And we'd love to hear the story behind the large red button you placed on your gifted chair. Interesting. Now let's see the memory. Those pristine wings, however, could never ever fly across the riverbank. Oh. July 13, 1943. This is my first diary entry. Old Kiteria says she will... This is my first diary entry. Old Kiteria says she will help me with my writing. That's help me when my writing is scratched. She kept laughing and said I should use punctuation, but she did not tell me what punctuation is. It sounds like seasoning. She did not tell me what punctuation is. It sounds like seasoning. Old Kiteria brought me to a place called a nursing home. It is rubbish here and old too, and the people's faces are all wrinkled up. And she wants me to start learning to read and do something called work. So I can stay here and eat, and I do not want to keep running away anyway. Those people cannot find me here. August 15, 1943. So this is, yeah, it's like a month later. These elderly people move so slowly. Where's the thrill? They all look at my clothes and said I must be a rich girl from somewhere far away. I told them about my past. They laughed so much. Old Kiteria didn't laugh and another didn't laugh either. The one they called the soprano. She said it was a pampered poor little thing. Fate likes to lift people up and then smash them down. I don't know what that means. But I don't like her calling me a poor little thing. Bugs are little. They are not good things. They taste bad. Some even taste like dirt, so I'm not a bug. She also asked why I was not angry at the soprano. I do not understand why I should be angry. The soprano says bad things, but she did not hurt me. People who love to say good things are the most dangerous. January 4, 1944. After picking up the morning fruit paper, I tidied up the soprano's bed. I saw many newspapers clippings under her pillow, all about the opera house. After evening prayers, I was about to take back the soprano's handkerchief when she suddenly grabbed me. She asked if I couldn't see that life was getting worse. She said I must understand that feeling, but I didn't understand what she was talking about. She said, when your skin becomes wrinkled, you'll understand. And everyone will die without dignity and regret and ignorance. I didn't know what she was talking about. I was very scared. I thought of my sister. I don't want to become my sister. After I put out the candle by her bed, she suddenly hugged me tightly and cried like a little girl. I copied what Kiteria does and gently patted her back. She soon fell asleep. She learned to write also. July 13, 1944. Old Kiteria announced to everyone that it was the 1-year anniversary of my arrival at Hateful home. I was very happy because it meant there was a lot of food and no work. The city was the star today and I could decide everything, just like when I was at the mansion. I asked them if there were any ponies here. I wanted to ride one and let them chase me. The elderly laughed so hard their dentures fell out, but they all said they wanted to try. So I rode on Jenny the cow, and she trotted majestically. I rode on its back, and they chased me with their canes and wheelchairs. They fell, got up, and laughed heartily. No one held them up. Finally, the soprano caught me. She cleverly used a bundle of hay to catch Jenny. When we got back, Kiteria scolded me, saying I could have broken their old bones. But everyone was happy, and so was I. At night, old Kiteria gently patted my back, but I couldn't sleep. I thought of the soprano's words. I've been thinking about her words a lot lately. I asked Kiteria if it will really just get worse and worse. She kissed my forehead and said, "What nonsense is that?" But I promised the soprano not to reveal her secret, so I said nothing. That night, I dreamt of my old gardens, but strangely, Jenny the cow was there too. Interesting. She's so interesting as a character, I feel. How she doesn't... She seems to be like very kind of sheltered in the sense like she doesn't seem to know a lot about the world. But yeah, unfortunately I do not have more time for today. I need to wake up early tomorrow, so we're gonna leave it up to here. We're halfway through, I think, though. I was told there were 24 notes, so we're halfway there. We shall finish next week. So it seems, yeah, it's interesting. I wanna learn more. But yeah, I can't stay up too late because my sister starts work early tomorrow. So we're just gonna move here for a bit. Let me mute the game because my thing is not working and I was too lazy to fix it. It is time to eat, indeed. It has gotten to that time to eat and feed my cat too. Feed my cats. Now I have 2 cats. But yeah, it is time to eat because I said I need to wake up early tomorrow. My sister starts work earlier than usual. So that means I need to wake up like half an hour earlier than usual on weekends. Yeah, I got a new cat, a black one. But yeah, so I'll go back to eat. So I have some energy tomorrow. We're gonna be doing Girls Frontline 2 this weekend. So we can get chapters 5 and 6 out of the way. And next week maybe we'll do 7 and 8. So you can do Diane's event afterward. I'll see. I need to check the event's ending time and calculate. Because I also there's an Emerald Cloud event released, and it's and we're missing one. That is the one that I didn't read because the translation was bad, and I didn't get to unlock everything to read it later. Also, I don't know if the translation on that is fixed, but apparently that one was more of a flashback. Kind of gave a more. It gave more. More backstory, more lore to like the beginning of the game or like before.
So basically I was told like, yeah, it's fine if you read it later, once they fix it. Or once they rerun it. So I do want to read the new one. That one I've seen the translation it's not bad. It's actually well done. It's actually done by a person. So I'll have to see how it goes. If anything, as I said, Girls Frontline 2 will have priority because they're not adding the events like right away. So if anything, I'll just do the thing I did with the Steins Gate collab that I'll just, and like some other event I also did that I just unlocked the entire story and then we'll read it. But I want to see if it's possible to read it while it's happening. But as I said, Girls Frontline 2 gets priority since that we still can't read past events. Can't wait till you read chapter 7 and 8. It's indeed Girls Frontline. Let's go. I'm so excited. But yeah, Girls Frontline 2 gets priority. And so this weekend we'll be doing chapter 5 and 6. And hopefully next weekend we'll be doing 7 and 8 to then do Diane's event. If there's time, maybe I'll do more this weekend. I kind of prefer leaving like one chapter per stream, but considering the time, we might rush, but we'll see. We'll see. I have a server in which I have like the timers on when all the events end. So I'll have to do some math when I'm more awake and less tired. But yeah, for now, I'll see you tomorrow for this weekend. As I said, Girls Frontline 2 tomorrow and Sunday. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for coming. We'll be finishing this event next week, hopefully. Or I might also do Girls Frontline 2 on Friday. We'll see. As I said, we'll see. But for now, thank you guys so much for coming. Hope you enjoyed. Remember to take care of yourself, stay safe, stay hydrated. I hope I'll see you tomorrow. If not, I'll see you next time. So, bye-bye.